Welcome, friends. Welcome to my Dog ASMR channel. Please subscribe to my channel for short stories. So, today we'll listen. Daniela has changed. Mom, I'm sick and tired of asking about me. Daniela yelled. You have to understand that I am no longer a kid. I have every right to do as I wish, provided that I don't disturb people. Mom, I want to let you know this. As soon as Dad comes back from work, I'll let him know. Daniela, what had come over you? Francis inquired, infuriated at her daughter's strange behavior. I'm surprised that you have the guts to tell me what you have just told me. Let me ask you, who is the force behind this silly attitude of yours? You friends? I guess maybe your dad, my sweetheart, have always wanted the best for you, but here you're trying to inform me how grown you are. Yes, I want you to know that I am grown up now. For Christ's sake, Mom, I am 14 years of age. I know what's good for me and what is not. Tara is just a year older than I am, but she does what she likes in her home. But here I am at my age being asked of where I went and going to, whom I am hanging out, and with all that. Mom, you know what? I'm tired of all that crap. Don't be naive, Daniela, she advised, attempting to take hold of her shoulders. Tara is not my daughter, and my daughter is not Tara. I want you to understand that her family and us are quite different in all areas. I don't want to draw any comparison between us now. You have always been a good girl. Daniela, why this sudden change of character in the last few days? Mom, if you really care to know, that's none of your business. Daniela angrily replied her. What an insult! You just insulted me and you are showing no apologies for your action. Francis shouted at her, and before Daniela could realize where she was, a round of slaps periodically sounded aloud on left and right cheeks from her both hands. In tears, Daniela angrily asked, did you just slap me like that, Mom? I did and will still slap you and over again until this ugly character of yours is wiped out. Okay, I'll leave this house and you will never see me again, Daniela assured her, heading towards her room to take a few of her personal effects. Minutes after, with her handbag on her left shoulder, Daniela heightened her voice in anger to her hearing. Please never bother looking for me. I'll come to the house when I wish to. When Dad comes back from work, feel free to let him know what took place. Bye, and have the house for yourself. As Daniela got the door to leave the house, Francis curiously asked, where do you think you are going to? This is about 7 p.m. and you want to leave the house like that? If you are joking, Daniela, stop joking with me. This is way too expensive. Please come back to Mom. I see you are not serious, observed Daniela, who couldn't wait to hastily get at the door led to building's exit. I'll see you later when the time is due. Till then, never bother asking about me. Let Dad know too. Come back here, come back. She shouted at her daughter, who forcefully shut the door at her to board a cab heading to Tara's house, 5 streets away from her residence. Her attempt to convince Daniela to reconsider her action went to thin air. Daniela took to what she thought was right, leaving the house for her husband and father, Richard. At Tara's house, Daniela, you have not told us the reason you came to stay with us, Tara's father observed. This is about 24 hours you have been with us. Now let me know at least why you are still in my house. Do you really have problems with your parents? To be sincere, girl, I am not particularly comfortable with this at all. I want you to tell me what happened. Like the devil's advocate, Tara stepped in her shoes as she responded, Dad, Daniela is here to stay. What brought her around is not really our business. After all, you wanted more children, but you decided not to get married at all. Our concern is to make Daniela comfortable while staying with us. Since mother is dead, let's enjoy her company. Daniela isn't it fun to be with? Tara, I want you to keep your mouth shut, he instructed. I didn't expect you to reply my question. All I wanted from Daniela was to know why she is staying with us. Remember, the consent of her parents must be granted. But from the way I look at things, I doubt if her parents are aware of her movement. Daniela, I want you to please tell me what happened. Daniela was word lost. She couldn't utter a word. The whole living room was surrounded by an atmosphere of muteness as Tara and her dad were expecting her response. After 7 minutes, Daniela opened up. I am sick, tired, and completely fed up with my parents, especially my mom. She would not let me be away. She let me be always on for me. Look out for me. Even when I am in the house, mom has always been a thorn in my flesh. Ever since I decided to change my lifestyle of being the so called mom's girl to a free girl, we are always setting the whole house ablaze with rents and insects, quarrels. I had to tell her to her face that I am tired of her bossing me around. I want to be free like a bird. I am grown up 14-year-old girl. Now I get the full picture. You want to leave your parents because they disturb your movement and relationship with your peers. I also heard you mention that you were a 14-year-old girl. I'm afraid to tell you this. You are between childhood and adulthood. You are feeling this way because you want to attain adulthood too quickly in a much more childish way. Do you know that your mom and dad are the greatest assets you will ever have on earth? I'm a single father who had been taking care of your friend Tara since the age of 3. Her mom is late. May her gentle soul rest in peace. Your parents want you to be better than them. That's why they want to give you moral well sound moral values. They know that you are very sensitive. That's why they have been keeping an eye on you, particularly your mom. To be frank, mothers are generally more sensitive in the affairs of their children, their daughters to be particular than fathers, only if they could treat you like a growing girl. Daniela interrupted. That's where the problem lies. They would never see me like one. Rather, they still see me as that baby of yesteryears. And that's the very statement I want to make. Is, is it because they fail to understand the time we live in? Could this be a result of their age? To me, they have refused to move on with the current trends of women. They are too old fashioned. Okay, Tara, father agreed, but give her a reason to rethink. You'll make the statement to them only if you can go back and sit them down for talk. They may sound outdated or in the words they have refused to move on with the current trend of events. But do me the favor of asking them why they're on your neck. Although Daniela was reluctant to leave the house, she summoned the courage to go back to her vomit back home at a time she never planned to. At her residence, sweetheart, we have been looking for you the almost whole of the day. Your mom and I couldn't sleep because of you. What happened? I was relieved when I got to the door and received you in. Your mom told me all that happened, and I understand why you behaved the way you behave. We decided that we will have a heart to heart talk. Moment you come back home, the spoken words concerned Richard, whose companion, his wife, was seated on the other sofa holding each other's hand. Dad, I also wanted to know why you and mom have been so concerned about me. All keep watch at what I do and my relationships with my peers. Daniela inquired, take her off her handbag and shoeless to the sofa. After he went back sitting on the sofa, Francis smiled. You are my only baby. That little girl that would always say, I love you, mommy. You are the best in the world. Daniela was able to retrace her footsteps. She kept Tara at bay, associated with the good boys and girls in high school, and spent quality time reading her books and communicating with her parents. Richard and Francis knew that their daughter was fast changing to be the dead girl they used to know. As they were about observing their sister, sweetheart, you know, I'm very tired, but because of the love I have for you, I would say one thing: Daniela has changed.